Happy Thursday, everyone. Hopefully you all are geared up for another episode today. And once again, we are going to be doing some SoFi talking in today's episode, let alone probably the broader market talking for today. We did get some government data. It is 11, or actually, my bad. It is 10:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time frame. For some reason, it feels like 11. I was going to record this one a little earlier today. But I kind of really held off on clicking the record button because right now we're very much rallying in the green, especially on hardware, software, let alone tech stocks in general. The data that we got today wasn't really like the best, but forward looking, as long as everything in the Middle East really dies down, it should very much be bullish in the very distant future. If you're new here, welcome. I put out videos Monday through Friday on this YouTube channel. If you enjoy these videos, smash the like button. Today I'm wearing my Rob Zombie t-shirt. I'm a metalhead. Was actually listening to some Rob Zombie earlier. Otherwise, yeah, if you want to see more content, definitely click subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Check back here daily. I primarily cover SoFi, semis, AMD, NVIDIA, software, hardware, pretty much just overall kind of like big tech in the US stock market. I'm going to be showing my public profile on this YouTube channel momentarily in today's video. If you are a raging SoFi bull like me, definitely check out my last 3 videos on this channel that is just about SoFi. I have SoFi up here on the screen, but it's not going to be the main talking point of today because we do have a lot of stuff that I want to go over, and I want to also try to keep this video under 15 minutes. Hopefully I can do it. So when it comes to the Middle East, we're getting a lot of really hippity-jibbity vibes. This video was posted 3 hours ago. U.S. strikes down Iranian one-way attack drone. We are currently in a ceasefire right now, but at the same time, there's a lot of tensions back and forth. It's very unclear, but I really do have good faith and really am forward thinking in a positive manner, and I really see the Middle East being wrapped up, hopefully, relatively soon. When it comes to politics, which I absolutely despise talking about, let alone I'm not a fan of politicians, and this is not a political YouTube channel by all means, but we got to talk about politics a little bit because it does matter. So oil is now below 90 bucks. It really has to stay up below 90, and for the market to continuing rally, it has to get closer to 80, if not below 80. Now, we have midterms that are going to be coming up in about 4.5, 5 months away. It is going to be a bloodbath for the Republicans, and you would think a Republican sitting president would want all this stuff to be done before midterms. Obviously, Iran, they know this, which is why one of the reasons maybe they're, like, prolonging making a peace deal, because they really see, like, hey, we can prolong this and maybe put pressure on the U.S. side, because obviously Donald Trump wants oil to be very much lower, and a couple months before midterms, if not the month before midterms, he wants to have headlines pretty much being that, hey, thank the Republican Party, we have oil at record-breaking lows, gasoline is at record-breaking lows, right? The stock market is probably going to be on a tear. So you got to take in the political side of things. Now, on the flip side, you can go ahead and say, hey, maybe this is not going to be over anytime soon, and maybe oil goes back to the $100, range. That's very bearish for the overall market. You always got to keep both sides in play. Me personally, oil could be at 100. My positions are built. Oil could be in the 70s. My positions are built. In the last 6 months, if you've been following along on this YouTube channel, I've been buying a lot of stock. A lot of stock publicly for 1, education purposes, and 2, motivation purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a retail investor, trader. And, yeah, when nobody wants to be in the stock market because it's too scary, that is the time to build positions. Nobody wants to be in the market. Nobody wants to own stocks. Everyone wants to just either spend money or put money into a savings or checkings and lose to inflation like I did during my 20s. Next month is my 38th birthday. I've been in the market for over 6 years now. I honestly truly wish I got into the market during my 20s, but hey, it's never too late to enter the market. But all throughout my 20s, I just kept my money in savings accounts, checkings accounts, worked very hard, built cash, but ultimately my cash lost to inflation. It happens. So right now is a glorious time. There are so many discounts here in the market. More government data to really put on the screen here. Actually, I just want to look at this very quickly. Middle Eastern news 1 hour ago. Iran says Trump threats to blow up Oman dangerously in bullying. Seeing a lot of threats back and forth. Water cheers. Today's my track running cardio day. It's going to be, it's going to be a hot one. 95 degrees and humid. Oh, boy. Oh, getting a glorious tan. There's a lot of threats back and forth, but you want to know what? A couple months ago, or actually even a couple weeks ago, threats back and forth were swaying the market. What are we seeing right now? Hello, green. Seriously, green. It's a gigantic big green weenie. If any of you all are prior service military, especially prior service USMC, you're kind of get that joke in a way, the green weenie. But the green weenie for the stock market is very much bullish. So we're seeing a lot of threats exchange back and forth, and we're not seeing stocks plummet. What does that mean? That means the market, the market's no longer fearful about threats. That is bullish. Why? It can signal a bottom. It really can. It can signal a bottom for beaten down stocks like SoFi. AMD is on a tear, obviously. Software, Adobe, ServiceNow is doing some mighty recovery. I want to talk about them a little bit. Even Palantir, Microsoft is up 2%, almost 2.5% on a big company. That's really good. So we're not seeing that fear. When threats don't scare the market anymore, let alone attacks, you know that we are either at a bottom or we have already bottomed and now we're on the uptrend. But the headlines on the U.S. stock market side of the news, you're not going to see the headlines as, hey, the bottom is in until the bottom has been far in. Okay? Keep it simple. Let's say the bottom is down here. You're not going to see headlines at the stock market bottom until the stock market is all the way up here. Once the stock market goes higher, that is when you're going to see headlines that says, hey, the market is bottom. You got to be getting in when the market is truly bottom, and that is when it is scary. It was scary several months ago. AMD was near $200 a couple months ago. It was scary. Very scary. Here's some more scary stuff right here, okay? Scary stuff. Economical data came in today. GDP. Obviously, GDP came in lower than expected. That could very well be scary, right? What else could be very scary? Well, PCE. Now, understand that this data for inflation, it's the month prior. So this is the month prior. We are in May, but this is April's data. Now, GDP is every quarter, so every 3 months. But what was going on in the last couple quarters? Obviously, very high inflation. Obviously, a impact from software, from hardware. A lot of issues that were truly going on because of the Middle East, okay? You got to remember, a couple months ago, it was a different, situation. So, this is very much from stuff in the past. All this data is lagging. It's not showing, right meow. Right now, okay? We're going to see May's data in June. Next month, we have the first FOMC meeting to our new Fed governor, Kevin Walsh. In my opinion, he's probably going to say, hey, maybe we can put a rate cut back on the table if inflation and everything comes down and if the Middle East wraps up, maybe 2. But right now, we're not cutting rates. Oh, yeah, and we're definitely not looking at rate hikes. I think that he's going to squash rate hikes, and that fear is going to completely go away. PCE, a little hot year over year, but once again, you got to remember that this is the month prior and is caused by, hey, the Middle East. So once all this stuff goes away, you're going to be seeing a lot different environment. Now, I do want to pull up pretty much the Fed predictions market. 20 days away, people. 20 days away. There is a 1.1% chance that we're going to be getting a rate cut, right? Understand that all this stuff is driven by algos. So obviously, we're going to be holding rates because that's what the algos are pointing. July, this is where it gets a little funky. Now, July, there's an 8.5% chance of rate hikes. I believe that Kevin Walsh, when he comes in June 17th, he's going to squash this, okay? He's going to say, no, we're not going to be raising rates, okay? I believe this is going to go away. Look at this bullshit. Sorry, trying to keep this YouTube channel PG, but sometimes I just really can't. 21% that we're going to be getting rate hikes. 21%. I truly don't believe we're going to be getting rate hikes because I don't believe the Middle East conflict is going to go all the way to September. And I believe that this oil inflation is very temporary. Very, very temporary. Look at October now. Holy bananas. Yeah, even more. Then you go to December, even more. Like a third. What? The market is fearful. Beyond fearful, okay? Now, if you are new to the stock market, you could very well look at this and say, hey, Nightmare, this is stupid. Why are you showing us this? It's all based on algos. Well, I hate to break this to you. Algos run the market. As a retail investor like myself, you're a retail investor, you're a retail trader, there's nothing you can do, okay? You got to play the game. And when the algos are showing that there's so much fear, but if you believe something different, hey, I've made investments. And on this YouTube channel, I'm doing a public YouTube account profile challenge to 6 figures. Looking to take this profile in the next 17 months, or actually, the account challenge started 2 January of this year. It goes up till May of next year. I'm going to be depositing probably some more money. I have deposited a lot, even more than I kind of thought I would, and that's because the market was selling off earlier this year. I do have some fun account challenge rules that I do have for myself, such as how much I can deposit in one set of time here. But I have definitely gone far above my depositing in the last 4 or 5 months. And for anyone that has been following me along, I was buying AMD shares like crazy, utterly crazy. AMD has taken over this profile. SoFi is going to go on a friggin' tear very soon, in my opinion. And I mean, we are recovering very nicely. We're above $16. We really got to stay above $16.50. But obviously, a lot of positions that are in the red. Robinhood, once crypto is very much going to rebound, this company's going to take off. Adobe is very much lagging, but I do still see a recovery for software, especially Adobe. I mean, right now, Adobe is in the green. We're talking Adobe right now is 1.3 up on the day. ServiceNow is very much killing it. Maybe I should have had a larger ServiceNow position than Adobe, but I very much chose Adobe. Why did I do that? Because I use Adobe products every single friggin' day. I don't believe Adobe's going to go away. I listened to their earnings call. Their past, like 4 earnings calls I was listening to. Yeah, we're going to be getting a new CEO into Adobe. But at the same time, I don't see this company, this great company that has an ecosystem, water cheers again, magically going away. I don't see it. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, hey, trading, investing, it comes with casualties. Okay, I could be wrong. I have some casualties here, and then I'm going to move my money from Adobe into a win-win chicken dinner area. I may actually be cashing out of PayPal very soon. Not entirely sure yet. And by the way, understand when I say what I'm going to be doing, it is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not suggesting what anyone else does, but if you are new to the market, you have to do your research and due diligence. I've done a lot of research and due diligence around AMD, and that's because I was in NVIDIA during 2022 and 23. And I did my due diligence around NVIDIA, made a decent amount of money, and now I'm going to be making even greater amount of money with AMD. I actually sold way too soon on NVIDIA. Oh yeah, way too soon on NVIDIA. But hey, it was my strategy definitely not to stay in very much longer. Was it the right strategy? Definitely not. Could have stayed in NVIDIA all throughout 2024 as well. But hey, AMD, I very much have a different strategy, and it looks like AMD's strategy is playing out very quicker. But if you go back to my videos a couple months ago, this profile was $35,000. So it can show you how quickly something can just whoop, evaporate. And what makes things evaporate? The stock market goes from being very scary to where the stock market right now is very scary. And I mean, the stock market's being led by a handful of companies, primarily hardware, such as NVIDIA, AMD, Micron. Pretty much SaaS is in the gutter. Then you also have companies like SoFi, very, very much speculative companies. SoFi, Robinhood still in the gutter. But once the overall market very much turns, we could very much see an everything style rally. An everything style rally that can last for months. It can last for a year. Hey, I was in the market during Rona and also 2021. I've stayed in the market for the last 6 years and some change now. Never left the market. That's another very important thing. You really cannot be in and out of the market, especially as a investor. But for me, I've seen an everything rally. And when stuff goes on an everything rally and your account goes to an all-time high, and then it goes to a new all-time high, and a new all-time high, and a new all-time high, you just really sit back and you enjoy the ride. So to really wrap stuff up in today's video, one, remember why you got into your stocks. There's going to be rough times. AMD, I was buying AMD shares in the 190s on this profile. My private profile, I started buying AMD below $100 during Liberation Day last year. Yeah, last year, my average price on AMD for this account is $210, 18 cents. I have a very lower average on my private account for AMD. It's crazy, but it was scary. It was scary buying AMD during Liberation Day. Like 80, 90, $100. It's scary, a couple months ago. I was buying AMD below 200. A lot of people criticized me here on YouTube. Said, I can't believe you're buying like one AMD share, two AMD shares. Yeah, one AMD share was like $190. One AMD share right now, $508. In conclusion, stay motivated, everyone. Keep to your plan and ignore the noise. But right now, we are very much seeing a very good momentum rally, and hopefully this continues. So stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. Probably going to be talking if we get any. I kind of really want to talk about a lot of. We got to see what happens tomorrow. Let me just say that. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, smash the like button and see you tomorrow. Later.